Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope everyone's doing okay. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the VOD, if you're playing this back as a video. I thought today we'd do a bit of a cargo run, as we have a new livery. And this is a Prime Air livery. And I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. I think the developer of the livery has done a brilliant job on this. This is the PMDG 737 cargo version. And this livery is a freeware. And it's from, is it flightsim.to? I think the name of the website is. I'll perhaps put a link in the description after I'm finished streaming. So I understand that Prime Air, the company was established as Prime Air, but I believe they changed it to Amazon Air when the company started to launch their drone deliveries, or their drone logistics leg of their company. But they still leave the Prime Air sort of wording on the side of the aircraft, but it is established as Amazon Air, I believe. So we're currently in Memphis. This is default scenery, which I think is pretty good, to be fair. Let me just try and speed up the drone. Do about 65. I'll do it. There we go. Yeah, so big airport. So this is Memphis. I'll bring up the flight plan in just a moment. We're going to be traveling to Louisville. The section I'm in at the moment is the cargo area. Although there's not a lot of detail here, because I think it's just because it's default scenery. And I do have multiplayer turned off, but I do have AI switched on purely for performance reasons. But this section of the airport here, whoops, all this section here is, I think on the ground charts labelled as FedEx area for cargo. I'm pretty sure FedEx won't mind us parking here until we load up to get out. But yeah, it's a big cargo area. So Memphis is quite clearly up there amongst one of the top airports for the transportation of cargo. Absolutely huge, absolutely humongous area devoted to cargo. So I will try and have a look for some payware, to be fair, for this airport, because I do think that will be really impressive. But even so, from the default scenery, I still think it's really good. But it's just absolutely humongous. So let's jump into the aircraft. Let's get booted on. And let's get powered up. And we'll get loaded up and let's get on our way. Let me bring up today's flight plan just before we do that. Here's today's flight plan in Navograph. Here we are down in Memphis. And then we'll be departing towards the northeast, flying over Nashville, and then further north into our arrival, and then finally our approach into Louisville. The departures, we might as well get some ground charts and the rest of our charts while we're here. Airport info, that's where we are. So if I just show you the airport chart, there we go. So all that top area that I've just shown a moment ago, that is all cargo. Got FedEx ramp, FedEx ramp, FedEx ramp, and then just a ramp area here. So I assume as this isn't sort of dedicated to FedEx, we're just in a general ramp area for other cargo and general cargo. We are taking off on runway 27. So this runway here. So it's a fairly simple taxi, to be fair. We'll pull out, come on to Victor, and take Victor all the way and hold short at Victor 2. And then we'll get on the runway and take off. Let's pull. We do have a SID. Let's bring that up. Now the SID is quite aggressive, so I don't know if it will give us any transition opportunities. Can I put that in here maybe? It does say we do have a transition. Let's have a look at this one. No. We'll do that one. We'll do the original one. So it has got quite an aggressive turn. We'll see what that looks like in the FMC, see how aggressive that is. But then a fairly simple departure out of Memphis. Let's pull up a start. Start's a little bit more straightforward. We do have a hold point if we need to. It's quite a long hold point, isn't it, that? At M-Bell, if we do need to make any adjustments before we go in. Then we make a turn at BR Bon, and then onto our approach into runway 35 left. So let's get that pinned to the board. Let's pull up 35 left chart. So let me just get rid of that so I can just sort of see easier. So we have missed approach where we hold at Damon, but I don't plan to do a missed approach unless I completely make a pig's ear with the landing. And at CRDNL we need to be at 2,400 feet here. CRDNL, which is around 7.8 nautical miles away from the runway. We do have an ILS approach for 35 left. I'll be plugging that in. This is the, well, that's what will go into the FMC. And our minimums today will be 664. We have a set of PAPI lights, but they're on the left-hand side of the runway, so I'll try and use those. I am on real-time weather and real-time time as well. So it all looks fairly good. We also have a hold here at BR Bon as well if we need it. And M-Bell. So we have got plenty of opportunities to make some corrections if we do have any issues during our arrival and approach. So there's the charts. Less chart to get is the ground chart for Louisville. Not that one, that's the one. So once we land in 35 left, we'll take the complete length up until probably Bravo 6 maybe. And we'll come off at Bravo 6 and transfer to Charlie, then Mike, and then we just got an air cargo area here, so I'll just try and find somewhere here to park up. I'm not too sure what it looks like though, because I haven't been to the airport before. That all looks fairly straightforward. So that's already pinned. That's good. Right, let's get into the aircraft. Sorry, let's get it all powered up and ready to go. Right. So first things first, we need batteries. Let me just have a quick look at my shortcuts. Here we go. So I'll turn the aircraft sounds up and the music down a little bit. So battery on. There we go. And then let's go into FS Actions, Ground Services, and we'll get a cart for ground power. Cart's here. Ooh, camera's a bit quick. Have to turn that down a bit. No, not zoom level, sorry. Camera, drone speed. Turn that down to about that. So, power's all plugged in from the generator. And then we should be able to turn ground power on now. Which we can. So that's ground power activated. And we'll get our emergency lights on. And then we'll start setting up the FMC. And I'll probably use both sides here really. So if we do get ground services on this side, FS Actions, ground services, we need to get in air conditioning. Don't worry about it because we're not really carrying passengers. We'll get the lavatory in though, because the last crew has reported the last crew had a little bit of dodgy airline food. Fuel truck. Now it already says we do have quite a bit of fuel here, so let me make that adjustment into fuel. So if I type in 0, there we go. If I get up what my flight plan briefing states, what we need for fuel, it states we need 6607. I'll just change the units. Setup, aircraft displays, it's on the last page. Kilograms. Excuse me. No, not that one. Fuel. No, not that one. Ground services, that's what I wanted. So let's request a fuel truck. And we said we wanted 6606. 6606. Enter that in there. And when our fuel truck comes, we should be able to start fueling. Here's the fuel truck. And fuel trucks plug it into the ground, and then a fuel line should come in. The fuel flap access hatch should open. Let me sort of stay here for that. I think it's that one there. It'll come open. There you go. There it is. And then the fuel will get the fuel line will get connected in. And there it is. How awesome is that? Lavatory's already doing their job. The lavatory services. Which isn't a pleasant job, I imagine. Okay, so now the fuel truck's arrived and plugged in, and we've got our target. We can now start refueling. Let's do that. Don't need any of that stuff. Forward loaders, we're not going to have anything in the under excuse me, in the hold area, because most of the weight will go in here. So let's go and before I request the pallet loader, let me just set it to 0. Main cargo area 0. There we go, that sets that to 0. Because the way the door opens and the pallet loader comes up, I think is really impressive in this aircraft, and especially in this build. So let's get the camera into position. As soon as I press the button, this latch here will open up. We need to get a target in there, and our target for cargo is 16. I think that might be too much, isn't it? Yeah, maximum capacity is 12,583. So let's see if I can split the difference and actually get something in the hold area. Let me just get my calculator out. So SimBrief says we need 16. Sorry. Maximum capacity here is 12,583 minus the 16,300. That gives us the difference of 3,717. So let's go back a page. 317 divided that by 2. That is 1858. 1858. Oh dear, what's going on there? 1858 in the front, and then 1858 in the back. We'll just pretend we need to drop off some lost cargo, some lost bags to return to passengers over in Louisville. So let's request these loaders. I don't think these interfere with the main cargo loader, the pallet loader, but I will check. So let me just open this and we'll go to the outside of the aircraft. So let's request. Come on. Is it because it's waiting for the pallet loader to arrive? Here it is. There you go. So pallet loader's turning up. And the hatch should open in just a moment. There we go. There's the lever. Sliding doors inside the aircraft. And then opens up the main door. I think that's amazing. So as you can see, at the moment it's completely empty. Yep, no pallets in there. That's because we've set the weight to... God, this cat bloody drone's too quick. Can't keep control of it. That's because we've set it to 0 in there. So when we put the target in and click load, it'll start loading up. So once that finishes connecting, should then be able to start loading. Let's just give it a moment. I think the pallet loader's rising. Yep, it is, yep. We're rising up to the level. There we go. Right, so we're all connected and now I've got a green good for load. So let's load up. Alright, that's busy. The forward carts are on hold, so there is something interfering with the forward carts. I'd say it's the fuel truck. So rear cart's ready to go. We can get loaded up there. But the fuel truck's in the way. There's an interference somewhere for the animation, so we need to wait for the fueling to be done before we can do the front. That's okay, we can still load the rear. So I'm happy that everything's sort of been loaded on now. Passengers I've set to just 2, just for me and the FO. And I don't know if that's actually an option in here to select passengers because it is a cargo version. No, there's not, no. So I have just set the weight to for 2 passengers in the SimBrief profile. So payload's going up, as you can see, on the left hand on the captain's FMC. So while that's doing, let's go and load the routing. First of all, we need to get the Irs Aligns. So we need to go over to nav, and heading. then it should ask us for a position. FMC position. We can just copy this position here. It's accurate. I have checked this before. Copy that in. Once the system aligns, then that should recognise where we are. There we go. See everything all adjusting then. It's all recognised in. Let's set up the flight plan. Let's get the legs in here. So there's nothing in here at the moment. I've already pre-filed the flight plan in the relative folders, so that should be fairly easy. Now I've got to recall my brain how to put that in now. Come on, brain, kick in. Where do we do that from now? Where do we do that from? My mind has completely gone blank. FMC position. There we go. Route. That's it. Goof. I had a bit of a brain freeze then. So we need to go into request a flight plan. There's 7 files already loaded in there. Go to the next page, and I think it is Memphis. There we go. That's the one. Into KSDF. Select that. It just needs a moment just to load in. Okay, load it up. It's loading. Okay, that's loaded, so we now go to activate and execute. Flight number, we'll call ourselves Amazon Air 454. That'll do. No need to put company route in because we've already requested the flight plan through the PMDG file system. But if another way to do it is just to type in here the departure airport and arrival airport, and then you go and fetch it from the same folder we've just got it from. So I'm okay. Runway, don't worry about for now. So that's all loaded in, and as you can see, we have started to develop something on the PFD. So let's go into the navigation screen. Sorry, let's go next into setting our departure and arrival. So departure Memphis. Let me pull up my second screen, the flight plan. So we said we're going to do runway 27, and it's the Goet 27. Next page. There you go, that's it there, Goet 27. That's the SID. So it does have a transition in here through DIY8B. And yeah, we have got that selected on our plan, so we will select that as well. And then let's execute that into the flight plan. Okay, that looks all good there. Back into departures and arrivals. Our arrival is into ILS 35 left. And it's MBEL 4 star. MBEL 435 left. That's it there. Beautiful. And we are going to do a transition of BR bomb. Select that as well. Execute that. Okay, that's him. Let's just have a quick check of the flight plan, just to make sure there's no discontinuities and we're happy with what we want to do. Okay, to leave it at no, let's leave it at, let's put it at 10. I read warning like that. Our main cargo door open. We know. Shall we just quickly check the fuel while we're on this? I'm sorry for bouncing to and fro. I just want to make sure we can try and maximise the time. Has the fuel finished? Yeah, fueling's finished. So let's release the fuel truck because we need to get the forward cart in, don't we, to start loading this one. This guy's finished as well, so we can release the aft carts and release the aft loader. Then as soon as the restrictions or the interferences moved, that should enable us to call that and start loading up. Oh, I've just noticed though, two 122s in there, and we only want a target of 1857. That'll be because the weight is still set. I don't recall doing it for this one. Okay. Let me try and make that correction. Payload. Forward is 2122. So let me just put that to 0. That should go to 0, that's it. Then when our forward cart arrives, we should then be able to start then and load up to 1857. Okay, sorry about that. So let's go to legs and let's just step through the flight plan. So we have got a vector here. So what we need to do is copy that into here, paste that into there, execute that. That should eliminate that. Step through, that looks good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good so far. Just go to the previous page a sec. Zoom out a bit. Bell, PL bomb. I did see a little bit of a break then. What was all that about? This here after AWLEE. Let's pull up. That's going to be on the star maybe? No, I can't see it. BON. Then we should go on to BR. Sorry, Rob RD. AWLA. So why is this in here? Building AWLA. There we go, let's try and zoom out again. Everything looks okay here. I don't see any breaks. Not that one, sorry. That's the view I want. Ah, is that just a go around then, is it? Yeah, looks okay. All the way up to the runway. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then there's our go around though. Hey, am I going? That wasn't in there, just was it? Am I seeing things? Start that loading while I'm here. No. I can't explain that. I have no idea. There's the runway. I don't see any further breaks in there. It says there route discontinuity. Ah, right. Okay. So there is, but it's just confusing me because there seems to be a break. The discontinuity is right at the end of page 2 and the start of page 3. So what I think we need to do there is copy paste that. Do that. And I think that should correct it. Put the next point after the break and paste it in. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. That looks good. Ooh. Let's put some lighting on. I'll leave those where they are. Okay, so routine's all done. I am happy with that. So now we need to go and do a request for the performance page. So let's request that from the flight plan. Load that in. Execute that. Let's just check our transition altitude. That's correct at 18,000. That's what I've also got. Winds we can do in the forecast. Is that on here though? No. I think that's a little bit after, isn't it? So takeoff, flaps 5. We'll do centre of gravity once we've finished loading fully up on the aircraft. We've still got a little bit more to go here. Nearly finished on the front loader. Pallet loader, we are finished. So let's just go and check that out. So rear loader's gone. Front loader is doing its thing. There we go. Now we're full of pallets. All the way. Oops. Don't know if I can get it. There we go. All the way to the back of the aircraft. So pallet loader's done. So that can be closed up. So we can release. We'll watch that animation as well. Very nice. And then that latch does go in as well once it's fully shut. Look at that. Perfect. And then our pallet loader makes its way off and reverses out and goes back to, I don't know where, but it goes away and goes disappears into the sunset. So that's done. We're now at full load, so we can release those two guys. And I believe that's everything then. So we should be good to go now for here. So I'm going to, just before we select our takeoff speeds, let's go to the next page because it's page 1 of 2. And we need to put in runway slope and some windage as well for where we are. Let's get that here. Get the meter for Memphis. So the winds are 10 degrees at 7 knots. So 0, 1, 0, stroke 10. No, sorry, correction. 7. And then runway slope as a percentage. Let me have a look. Let me pull up the chart. So you guys can see as well. So I'm not sure if this is the correct way to calculate slopage. I'm trying to just do it logically. So one end of the runway is 253 feet elevation, and the other end of the runway is 292. So if we do 252 divided by 292, that gives us a 14% slope. So let's try this. Let's just turn the brightness up a bit. 14. Let's see what that does. Invalid entry. Right, so does it need to be 14.0? Invalid entry. I wonder why that won't go in. Because we do have a 14% slope. Why? It's asking for a percentage, and I'm putting a percentage in. I don't know if that's a limitation of the aircraft or the build or what. I'm not too sure, but it won't accept it. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Bad streamer. Sorry. Here. Let me show you what I'm trying to do. Typing in 14 into the scratch pad, and when I try and put it into here, invalid entry. So I'm not too sure I'm doing wrong there, but we'll clear it then. I wonder if it accepts 0. It accepts 0. Does it accept 5? Invalid entry. Don't know. Pass. It's beyond my my knowledge of this system, I'm afraid. But that's the only way I could think to sort of logically calculate it, is to work out how high it is at the one end and how high or low it is at the other, and try and calculate that as a percentage for the slope. But that doesn't take into account any sort of dips and peaks and troughs during the length of the runway, which we all know exist. As you're sort of taking off and landing, you never see a perfectly flat runway. But that might be a limitation of the simulation software, MSFS, and a mixture of the chart information, and I'm not too sure, but that's how I would do it. But for the sake of today's flight, we'll just stick with and pretend there's no slope. So now if we go back, and we can now do centre of gravity, click that, 21.6, so that means we need a trim setting of 5.65. I can just get rid of the meter for now. We're doing a flaps 5 takeoff, so I can now input these speeds, and that gives us a takeoff weight of 57.2. And if I look at my flight plan, there is a slight discrepancy there. Flight plan says we need 61.1, so there's definitely a difference. I don't know what I've done wrong, or if I've done anything wrong at all, but I really am hoping as soon as PMDG get this EFB installed into the aircraft as an update, which I'm really hoping soon, because I think it's definitely required to help with performance calculations, because I'm trying to do it a little bit to the best of my knowledge, really, and obviously that's quite not good enough. So I need a little bit of support with a bit of software in the AFB or performance calculator. I know there is certain separate third-party ones, but you can't beat the one in the AFB. In the Phoenix simulation build for the A320, I think that tablet, that EFB is just phenomenal. So we'll flick that back to map. Let's just finish off down here. So that all looks good. We'll set the trim once we're all fired up. Nothing left to do there. We're not going to choose to do a deceleration or a derate of the engines. We'll just leave it in its climb profile. I think that's okay. Climb data, cruise is 3.9. It states in the flight briefing it's 3.7, but this states 3.9. So can I change that? 370. I can execute that. I don't know why that didn't drag in properly. I don't think we've got any restrictions on the way out. Let's just have a quick check. No, we just need to be able to flight level. Um, 086, so we'll easily do that because these aircraft's rockets, and then we've got that big sharp turn to the right, haven't we, on the way out, and I don't see any further apart from the standard 250 knots below the flight level 100, so I'm pretty confident with that. So we'll set our cruise altitude here of 3.7. Right, let's just get our airport charter again, and the runway heading is 273. So heading 3. I'll put that in here as well in the course. That all looks good. We need to do that on the pressurization system as well. Flight level 3.7. Landing altitude. We'll get that on the other chart. Oh no, let's just get rid of the fly-by-wire. Our launcher accidentally pressed that. 3.5 left, we said, yeah. 4.61. Close enough. So that all looks good. I think we're nearly ready to sort of set the aircraft up to go. I don't think there's anything more to do here. Destination, now we can get some wind forecastage there, but we'll do that when we're up in the air. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's start setting everything up. So, overhead. Let's get some lighting on. Beautiful. So we're currently on ground power, and we wish to turn on the APU. So let's just do a quick sort of left to right to make sure we're happy. So your damper can come on, pumps can come on, but before they do, let's turn on the hydraulic system. Heaters, they can come on, and we'll turn on rear left, or the aft on the left hand side to start the APU. That all looks okay. That all looks okay. We can put actually that to as best practice. The seat belts. That all looks okay. Logo light should have gone on a little bit early. Wheel well. Right, okay, so we can also do some checklists as well, can't we? Let's have a look at the logo light actually. Lighting's probably not too great, but there's the two lights that light that up. Need to get rid of the lavatory as well. release the stairs and release the lavatory. And then we'll get the checklist open. Just to make sure we're happy and we're doing things correctly as best as we can. Alright, stairs are away and lavatory will leave in just a moment. So let me pull up a checklist. There are a lot of checklists, but we're ready to start, aren't we? So we'll do a before. Actually, let me just try and find the right checklist. Window heats, yeah. So we can, we'll do the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen test. I wonder if we can do that. That's down here, yeah. Yep. We test okay. No, I don't need to see it. Sorry. Tick navigation transfer display, normal and auto. Is that on the overhead, is it? Suppose we should do this while we're here, the squawk, because we're not going to be doing ATC. Oh, we'll just set that to 2000. Turn that on. Navigation transfer display. Where are you?
TCAS test. Pass.
Oh, right, okay. Window heat. I didn't know it did that then. Just gave us an audio. Window heat. Yep, they're on. Pressurization. That's down here. That's set to auto. Yep, I know that one. Flight instruments. Check heading and altimeter. So heading we've set, altimeter we haven't set. So we need to set that. So altimeter needs to go here. Get the weather back up. And altimeter is 3017. Yep, there we go. 3017. So that's all now set. I can go away. Open back up. Parking brake set. Yep, set. We also then can remove chocks. Whoa! What happened there? Hey? Why have we lost ground power? Ah, as the ground power. Oh, is that linked to the chocks, is it? Oi, 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 I didn't know that. Okay. I've got alarms going off. Request it. Hopefully the batteries can hold up. I should have turned the AP on really, shouldn't I? I didn't know that. I just assumed as soon as I can set the parking brake I can take the chocks off. I didn't realise that was linked to releasing the ground power. Alright, let's get the ground power back on. There we go. Ground power's back on. Jeez, that's a lesson for me. So let me do that now then. Let me put on APU. Let's start that up. Is that needle going to rise? Yeah, there it is. Let's listen to it. There we go, it's firing up. That's the needle's just settling down. Then we should see our light. Let's transfer to the buzz, to the APU buzz. Left and right. So now bleed the air in from the APU. Now we can turn ground power off. And now we can go and remove the chocks. There we go, aircraft still on, but our altitude has reset itself. Oi, 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 oi. It's the first time that's happened to me, that is. So that's set. Let's go to the overhead. Has that reset itself? No. Everything else looks okay though. I can't see any of the sort of drastic changes that's taken place. Right, let's go into parking brake then. So yeah, sets and engine levers are cut off. Tests, that's done. So flight deck doors are closed and locked. We can check that. Into here, doors. Yep, nothing's open. Fuel, quantity checked and fuel pumps. Check pumps are on. So the pumps, only one was on, so let's turn you the 3 pumps. We don't have any additional fuel in the centre ones or the additional auxiliary fuel, so they remain off. Windows locked. Yep, we can't open the windows on this build anyway. MCP, read speed, heading and altitude. Speed, we will do auto throttle. So let's put the flight directors on. And auto throttle set. But at the moment it's set to 100. I think you'd normally, in best practice, set this to V2, I believe. And our V2 is 132. I think that's best practice, just in case of a we have a failure once we've left the ground. So read speed and heading. So speed 132 is set, heading is 273, that's set, and we have an altitude set for cruise at flight level 370. Takeoff speeds, check them. Okay, so V1 is 121, that's when we're committed. We're going to rotate at 123, and then we can perform one engine at 132 if we have an engine failure up. So that's okay there. Yeah, done that. Rudder and aileron trim 3 and 0. Rudder, oh, I've got a better view here. Yep, rudder is 0, and aileron is also. But we do need to set the elevation trim, don't we? Taxi and takeoff briefing complete. Won't embarrass myself on the internet by pretending to do that. Anti-collision light needs to go on. Anti-collision light on. Happy with that. Tick that off. Right, we know we've got engine start checklist. So air conditioning pack switches are off. Yep, left is off, right is off. Engine start for ground, and then we go to 25% introduce fuel. So I think we are just about ready to turn on the engines. So let's pre-plan our pushback, and we'll sort of push back here with nose facing left, tail facing right, and we'll come out at is that gate or exit 14 onto Victor. So let us Get rid of that a moment. Push back. Plan it. And then we'll push back here. Happy with that. And let's go and request the pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by. Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm back. I just had to take a phone call with his family, so always have to answer to family and make sure everything's okay. Right then, let's get back into what we were doing. So, sorry I couldn't sort of do any commentary on the back of that, but we've obviously put the engine start to the ground, and as soon as we hit 25%, we introduce fuel. So everything should be all up and running. Beautiful. Left engine, right engine. All good. Let's go back to our checklist. I'm pretty sure the beacon should have... the anti-collision light was on. That's okay. Let's get back into our checklist. Engine starts. So packs are off. We've done that, and we've done 25%. Before taxi checklists, so taxi checklists. So let's get the generators switched over. So left generator 1 on, and generator 2 on, and then that just knocks off the APU. So we can say, yeah, we've done that. Probe heats can now come on. They're up here. 1, 2. Yeah, they're on. Check. Anti-ice as required. I don't think we do need anti-ice today. Temperatures. We can check the temperature. In Memphis, 22 degrees. No, we're okay. Isolation valve can now go to automatic. That's this middle one here. That goes to auto. Engine start switches go to continuous. Left, right. Yep, recall. Auto brakes. That's down here. That goes to rejected takeoff, RTO. Engine start levers are at the idle indent. Let's see if I can get a decent vision, decent view here. You might just be able to see it there. Yeah, idle. Yeah, I'm happy with that. They're okay. Flight control check. Let's do that while we're here, and we'll do that from the outside of the aircraft. So we're going to do left aileron, right aileron, elevation up, elevation down, left rudder, right rudder. That looks good. I might have just knocked off my parking brake accidentally then. I did because I tapped my toe brakes. Oops. So flight controls checked. Ground equipment is all clear. We can have a quick zip round and make sure. Yep, no ground equipment around. Our tug is well out of the way. So tug is okay. Done. And then we just have our before takeoff. So we might as well do that here. So flaps need to go to green light status, and we said we were going to do flaps 5, didn't we? So that's flaps 1, 2, 5. And I can see that here. That needle should point to the 5. And we've got green. That's what it's asking for here. Flaps green light. Flaps green light. And flap 5s are set. Trim. That's down here. And we said we need trim at... can't quite see there. Trim at 5.65. Excuse me. Let's turn the trim wheel. Indicators going to 5. A little bit after. In between the 5 and the 6. That'll do. And that's done. So we'll do the after takeoff checklist, obviously, after we've taken out. So I think we're ready to go. flight con. I think is that flight configuration. Check. No, we don't want. Oops. We don't want speed brakes. That's the wrong button. Oh. Try again. There we go. Everything looks okay there. I don't think there's anything else for us to check here. Not too sure why we've got this light on. Let's put our range rings on. Just do another quick pass of the overhead. Let's turn off the APU. Your damper can go on. Pumps are good. That's all good. Everything's guarded. What needs to be guarded. Taxi light on. Runway turn off lights can come on. I will change the configuration of the aircraft to put my hood on here. That is in menu, PMDG, aircraft equipment. Yeah, all the call outs, honour all those. I'm good with all of that stuff. It might be on the display maybe. No it is, there it is. Let's turn that on. That's all okay. I do like, for the lighting, I'll do the original with pulse. Wi-Fi antenna not installed. Right, that's all good. So now we should have, way, there we go. Let's turn the brightness of that down a bit. I will use that this time. So we have now eliminated that. I think that was flight, like a flight configuration or flight check basically. That there's still some outstanding items, which must have been the lights and the APU off, because we are good to go. Let's try and get a decent inside view. Oh, we can't on this one, can we? Because it's the cargo. It's the cargo version, isn't it? So you can't sit in the window because there's no seat in the back to sit in. Right. Let's make our way. So let's get my feet on the pedals. Let's tap the toe brakes. Let's turn on LNAV, VNAV, and then let's apply some engine power. Oh, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I felt that straight away as soon as I put the throttles on. I've still got my throttle quadrant set to the wrong one, so I want the PMDG. Apply that. I have been flying the Phoenix Simulations A320, which is a different configuration because I've got the officers pack. So that should be okay now. There we go. Let's put some breakage on. Autopilot disengage, auto throttles disengage. Let's turn those back on. There we go. My profile. As soon as I applied that, just that tiny little bit of power, I instantly knew. I instantly knew the speed was wrong. Sorry, the configuration was wrong. Should have checked that before. So we're coming up to gate 14. So let's put a little bit of power. That's better. Probably need a ground speed of 7. I think we can go to 13, something like that. Bit of an overcast day, isn't it, here in Memphis? Quite a few few clouds about, some drizzly weather. Then we're going to take this left turn on to Victor. Well, I can see the windsock as well here. So we will be taking off with a very, very slight crosswind. And we want to take this first yellow onto Victor. That one sort of crosses runway 9. That one does. That's a hold for a runway, so we don't want that. Currently at 9 ground speed, so let's put a bit of engine power in. Let's try and pick up a bit of speed. Put some tunes on, or we taxi to the runway. Bit more power. Clear left and right. There you go, up at 15 now. We're going all the way to the end now. And then this is the runway we're taking off on. Oh, watch out for the light sticking up in the middle of the taxiway. I'd love to be able to get a load of custom scenery and some even payware, but I do experience a lot of performance issues with my PC when it's trying to process so much information. My PC is getting old now. It's got a 1070 Ti graphics card and an i5 8600K, so an 8th gen i5 CPU, and it does struggle. It really does. I can just about sort of enjoy the PMDG 737 and stream, but I do have to sort of compromise on graphics settings. And the Phoenix simulation, oh man, the Phoenix simulation A320 just eats my computer, so I really struggle with that. I haven't been able to find the sweet spot yet where I can actually stream that aircraft purely because of the resources it takes just to run the thing. It's really tough. Whoops, that is it. Right, we're nearing the end of the taxi now. Excuse me. Just on the right hand. This right hand turn is what we want to take. We'll line up and wait, and then we'll get going. So I do know we're meant to turn on our strobes as we come onto the runway. I'm not going to hold short. We'll just go straight on and line up and wait. Let's just put a little bit of toe brakes in there just to take the turn nice and gentle. Lights can come on. Let's see if we can nail the line up. I think. Let's see what that looks like. Let's put parking brake on a sec. Not too bad. Could be better. I'll have to make that correction as we sort of go down the runway. You see what I mean there? I don't know whether you can pick that up on stream. Looks like there's a dip in the middle of the runway here. And that's what I was referring to, and it's not quite flat. Right, so we need to do let's start the clock. Hood down. Let's get feet on. Parking brakes off. Let's turn the music off for takeoff. So I'm going to put the toe brakes on. Let's take the engines up to 35–40%. Hold in. Release toe brakes. Max power.
Airspeed's alive.
Yep, check.
80 knots.
Check.
Rotate.
Rotate.
2. Positive rate of climb.
Yep, gear up. Doing a bit of hand flying at the moment. Whoa, way overshot that, haven't I? I did say it was a bit of an aggressive right-hand turn though, didn't I? Still hand flying. It's in the clouds at the moment. We'll turn the autopilot on once we come back round. I'm trying to control the pitch. See that change then? Alright, let's put autopilot on now. AP. Speed's coming down, but we need to really pitch the nose down. There we go. The nose needs to pitch down a little bit more in order for this speed, there we go, to start increasing. There we go. It's finding that balance. Coming up to 10,000. I suppose I can sell you on the hood as well here, can't I? Okay, 10,000 on, so lights can come off. Try and find the right click spot. There you go. Those lights can come off as well. And we can come out of continuous. So let's do our after takeoff checklist. Air bleeds need to go on, yeah, which they are. APU bleed can come off. Packs need to go to auto. They're on auto. Landing gear up and off. Landing gear up, and is now set to off. Flaps up and no lights, so let's start to bring the flaps up. That's flaps 5 to 2. There we go. Flaps 2 to 1. I'm just looking at this gauge here, and flaps should then go to up. Yep, which it is. That's good. No lights. Check. No lights. That's descent preparation, so we don't need the checklist for a bit. Auto brakes can also go to off. Let's have a look at our departure. So it's still trying to break through those clouds. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Just as we came out of that cloud. Wow. That was beautiful. Gee whiz. Microsoft Flight Simulator is just for champions, and it's an absolute winner. What an amazing software. Let's have a look at the overhead. Everything looks okay there. Wheel well can come off. Pressurisation is all set. APU bleed is off. Engine bleeds are on. Packs are auto. Valve is auto. Looks good to me. Cabin pressurisation is obviously, as we get higher, slowly increasing. And seatbelt signs can come off. Let's go back to here. So let's look at the climb. This is the climb page. Target is 285 knots. And we're going to flight level 370. It's going to take us 70 nautical miles to achieve flight level 370, and we'll be there at 1453 Zulu, and it's currently 1444. So not long at all until we achieve cruising altitude. Progress tab. Wind is currently 241 degrees. Direction at 16 knots. Where can I find temperature, air temperature, outside air temperature? That incline. That's when we get to cruise. Don't know. Does it tell me on the PFD? Or we can come out of go on to standard pressure as well. Oi, oi, oi. Cabin altitude. So we had this problem every time. Got the horn out. It is increasing. And I've done everything as I've been instructed to. I've followed the checklists. Valves in auto. Packs are in auto. Bleeds are on. Why is that sounding then? Standard pressure. Did this last time to us, didn't it? Put some music back on. Great tune. Wonder if it's because of this. Because we're not quite at 37, flight level 370. Passenger cabin, that's just the temperature, air pressurisation. It is changing. Is that because it's just not changing quick enough? Am I not got the right altitude set? I set it in here though, flight level 370. That's for manual override, I think, of opening the pressure release valve. But it's all, everything's all auto. I don't know. I've silenced the alarm anyway, and I've got the red light here, so I'll keep an eye on this red light here. still have our red light, don't we? Something doesn't work out right, does it? Because if I read that correctly, excuse me, cabin altitude, that says we're at 15,150 when we're not. And differential pressure is set to 4 psi. I don't understand that. We're not at flight level 150. So I understand the alarm's gone off because there's a difference between what the gauge states and what we are actual, which is 3-1. So why has this not been increasing up to here while we've been climbing? Have we been climbing too quick? I wonder what happens if I flick this to manual and open that. I think that's a little valve at the back, I think. Oh, I thought that was this. Valve, yeah, it's definitely not there. Oh, I've got to have messed it right up now. Auto fail. Why aren't you working now? Do I have to hold it? Oh look, it is that because it's now, oops, whoa, sorry. You can see it's open a little bit now. So what happens if I open that fully? Okay, that's fully open. Which it is. Auto fail. Let's see if I can override the fail in here. Yeah, okay, that's 1,000 off altitude, cruise altitude, sorry. Menu, PMDG, options, no, not performance. Is it in the simulation? No. Aircraft failures, here we go. Active. The mask has been deployed. If I clear all, yeah, mask have been deployed, so it won't let me do that. So let's electrical fire. I'm looking for pressurization. There we go. Serviced based. I don't want that. Programmed. Alright, let's turn that off. Random failures, no. But it's not a failure, is it? It's more of a my failing. I haven't set the right failing. It won't correct it. Let's have a look. Let's go back to the overhead. So the valve is now closed again. So it's obviously closed over a period of time. So the pressurization auto has failed. Doesn't look like a bit of problem solving at 37,000 feet, is there? Here we go. What's this say? Cabin altitude, landing altitude. Okay, that's just like a reference chart that isn't going to really help me. Cabin climb, that just tells us the rate of climb, does it? With him, yeah, up, down, and we're still going up. I don't know how to reset that failure. No. Definitely still have it. Reset master caution. That won't change because it's in auto. I don't think so. Let me try opening the isolation valve. No. Closing it. No. Would the packs need to be off for that? We try it, packs off. I'm looking for this duct pressure. Does this sort of influence the pressurization here? So I want to sort of direct air to correct the pressurization issue. Bleed trip reset. Should we try that? So let's go back to, oops, sorry, auto, reset it. There we go. Here we go. So I've now got audio in my ears, and duct pressure PSI is increasing. Let's just give that a moment because we are seeing now a complete change in the behaviour of the gauges. So cabin climb, which I don't think we're climbing. No, we're at cruise. Before I start fiddling, let me just make sure I've got top of descent is there. Okay. I want to try and work this out. But look at that. cabin altitude is reducing. So does the altitude in here need to be representative of what is sort of simulated on the ground, or is that have to match? Does that have to match the altitude that we're at? I'm not sure. If you guys are sort of watching this and screaming at your screens, please feel free to drop it in the comments to help educate me. But I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing here. Well, here we go. Here we go. Now we've got a little bit of a result. So I can now input a manual pressurization. So if I do 37, I can't remember what we set this to now. 461. Hold on. Oh hey, I think we've got it. I think we've done it. No, we haven't. Auto fail. I thought we did it then. I thought we nailed it. Let's keep it a manual. The valve's also open slightly. I need to research about this after the stream. Okay. Coming to our top of descent now. Let's start making some preparations. So our descent, I don't want to descend now. Press the wings. Pardon me while I just went to get a drink. Right, so let's let the winds in. So that's done. Initial index approach. Right, let's do flap 30. So copy that to the scratch pad, put that in there. Let's get our charts. Didn't pin that one, did we? 2,400 is where we need to be at. So I'm going to set that in here now. Two 5, 2 4. As soon as we pass that top of descent, it should start to reduce the altitude. Oh, hello. Now the warning light has disappeared now. Oh no, is it back again? Yeah, it's back again. It disappeared for a moment, didn't it? If I go on to auto, will it stay or will it fail? That orange light will come up if it fails, and these lights here will all go to dash lines. Looks to be holding, doesn't it? So did it just need a little bit of time to repressurize? By the way, at this point I imagine my eardrums have completely popped and blown. So there is that little problem we've got to get over. But in terms of the system, I don't fully understand the pressurization system properly yet. Okay, it looks to be holding. I don't have an auto fail light anymore. Let's see if we've got our red warning light. We do have that still. Cabin altitude. Not sure. I'm not sure. Looks good. Have a bit of a checklist here as well, don't we? And we are doing descent now, aren't we? So we have started our descent. So it probably makes sense to do our descent checklist. Descent checklist. Pressurization, landed altitude, yeah, we've set that. Recall auto brake as required. I don't have a performance calculator, so we'll go to 3. Lander data, verify minimums. Minimums is 664. So let's pop that guy in here. Keep going round and round and round and round. Six. Oops, too far. 64. There we go. It's in. Approach briefing. I don't think the cargo needs to hear where we are. And then we've got our approach checklist for altimeter. And then our landing checklist is next. Excuse me. Look at the clouds, man. Even on my sort of lower end machine. Gee whiz. How awesome. Put terrain on. Let's have a look at the progress. .101 miles to go, and we'll land at 15:30 Zulu, and it's 15:10, so 20 minutes until we land. I think that's a really cool screenshot I do. We can set our heading in, just in case. All the runway, which is 350. Pressurization error's gone away, the red light. Valve has opened slightly. And that tells us we have a cabin altitude of, what's that, 7,000? And a difference in pressure, I think that's what the diff is, difference in pressure of 5.5 psi. So the more I look at it, the more I understand, I think, that this pressurization gauge here isn't about what your current altitude is to maybe be able to match the cabin altitude. This is stating what the cabin altitude is. So we're obviously higher at, I don't know, 30,000 feet. But if we didn't have a pressurization change, our bodies can't take that altitude without some type of pressurization counter, is how I understand that. But the bit I'm not clear on is what is the right altitude to be at, and the duct pressure that I understand is the air conditioning, the pressure of the air conditioning system how does that interlink with the cabin pressure, and how are the isolation valves impacting the flow of air into this system to be able to feed into this system. That's the bit I don't know. I don't know that. What is I here? Pressurization difference limit takeoff and landing 0.125 psi. But it says there 1,000 feet per minute, so I thought that was a rate, a climb rate, cabin climb. That's what I thought that was. I didn't think this was pressure. Or is it pressure linked to your rate of climb? So is that saying sort of like it's okay, I think I've got it. Is that saying it's what? That there is 0.5 psi, so half, or 0.5 psi of pressurization change to this as we're reducing altitude. That's what I think it's saying. So for the rate we're going down, I think the actual reading's more like what's that, 0.35, something like that. And it says here pressurization difference limit for takeoff and landing is 0.125 psi, which will be literally between there's 0, that'll be 0.1. So when we land, it's got to be around there, is how I read that. So if that's reducing at 0.35 psi per 1,000 feet per minute, I think that's what it's saying. Is that the rate that this cabin altitude pressure's changing? So it's at 4 now, yeah? So that tells me that for every 1,000 feet we get down, that changes. No, it can't be. It can't be, because we'd see that move a lot quicker. That can't be correct. I'm guessing it, I know. I'm trying to figure it out, but doing a poor job at that. Doing a poor job at that. Right, let's go into let's have a look how we're doing. Oh, so we might need to come down a little bit more. Let me just get rid of the terrain. So I feel we may need to come down. Let's get the current weather. Might be too far away. KSDF, wasn't it? Yeah, too far away. I don't know what the standard pressure is. The local air pressure is. Sorry. I suppose we could get that from one of the performance takeoffs that I do have, but for a different aircraft. It's for the fly-by-wire, so I've got top of KSDS. So it is 1022. So let's flick that over. 1022. So at the moment we're going to reach our descent level there, and we don't. We want to reach it a lot quicker. So I think we need to go down a lot quicker, or slow down. Let me check again. Yeah, we need to slow down. So shall we do a hold? Let's do a hold at BRBON, which is where, yeah, drag required. Let's try and do a hold. Hold. BRBON, wasn't it? B-R-B-O-N. No, it won't let me do that. Let's deploy spoilers. Let me get my chart open. Let's have a look where the holes were. So we've passed BRBRN. Let's do a hold here. No. Drag required. I have got drag. Yep, that's what I want you to do. I want you to hold, but we are still coming in. We are far too high. I was losing my mind. My train of thought on the pressurisation system, where we've lost. Why can't I initiate a hold? Have I got that hold in? Is that why we're turning? I don't see the hold in the plan. Oh dear, more problem solving. We are full of it today, aren't we? Where is it going? I think that's trying to get back on path now, isn't it? BRBON, I think we've lost. Right, let me take over head and select. And let me loop round. Let me loop round and try and come back on path. And then I want to do a vertical speed, and I want to come down at 1200. Because I have royally messed that up. Speed 240 is okay, I'll leave that in there. I'm a bit frustrated I couldn't get the hold in properly. I was a bit too late for the hold. We're okay, we can recover, I think. Let me show you on Navograph. As you can see, we were way off, we were way too high. Way too high. I think it was about 8,000 feet, where here we need to be 2.5, so I need to lose some altitude. Let's keep going round. I had a fixed hold here at Damon, but I can't remember seeing where Damon was on the chart. I think that was on the star, wasn't it? No, I don't even see that. BRBRN was the whole point. Ribbon. That's the correct holding point. So, can we do... legs. There we go. Legs. And let's go direct. Execute a direct. LNav. Renav work. No, let's continue with our vertical speed. MCP, so we have got LNav on and we've got a nice vertical speed, nice and gentle. So can we initiate the hold now? Check altitude targets. Okay. Hold. I don't want to hold there. Next hold. That's where I want to hold. Okay, yeah, execute that. There we go. There's our hold. God, I'm making this hard work, ain't I? And then it is a series of right turns at 81 degrees right turn. Now I've got here 008. Let me just bring this up. Here's that hold here at BRBON. Let me see if it's better on the star. No, it's not. It's not. So I think that should be. This here should be 008. 008. Slash right, which is correct. So I'll just put slash right. 008. Execute that. There we go, that's more like it. I'm happy with that, I think. So if I go to hold and the distance, I don't quite see a distance on the chart, or a leg distance, but we can get it from. Oh, let me have a look actually if it's on the missed approach. Sorry, the hold information. No, it's not. And it doesn't tell me a distance either, which is extremely frustrating. But we have got, if I just try and do it logically, God, I'm not having a good day here at all, am I? What have I got this set to? The chart ring ranges 20, so 20 nautical miles, yeah. So that's 20. There's 10. There's 5. So distance 5. Execute. 05 maybe? 05. Yep, mod, execute. No, doesn't like that. Don't like that, do you? Anyway, I'm at the I'm at the altitude I need to be at now, but it's okay. I'm good with that. You know, that's what we needed hold for. Even though I did it a little bit ad hoc, and it took me a little while to get there, but I've done it. Just not quite sure why this is asking me to. Why is this selected? Oh God, bad streamer. Sorry. Why is this selected at a grayed out? Is that because it's active? Is that why that's grayed? I can't introduce a a distance, it won't let me. If I click 5, for 5 nautical miles, execute that, nothing happens. That's what I assume. So what I will do is I'll exit the holding pattern. I will exit the holding pattern when we come around. And while we're at it, why don't we use this opportunity? Holy moly! I do forget that it's not very high, is it? 2,500 feet. So this is where we're holding. So I recognise I've not really done that very correctly, really. I think it's the same minimum at 5,000 feet I need to do that at. But, you know, we're learning. So I also need to bring the speed down, don't I? So I need to come down to sort of 180. Let's bring some speed brakes out to help me. And then I'm going to exit the hold, exit hold, execute. Exit is armed, so I do hope that as soon as we get past here we then do a left hand turn, is what I'm hoping. Let's do a notch of flaps. And oh god, we are bad pilots today, aren't we? Got to put landing lights on. They've got to go into continuous. I'm blaming the pressurisation unit issue. That's what I'm blaming. So I want the aircraft now to turn left. Please. Because I asked you to exit the hold. There we go. There we go. So it has done that. Let's turn on approach. Gee whiz, this has been a bit challenging, isn't it? So I do think we've got enough left of the distance between us and the runway to be able to successfully make that turn and get back on track. That's what I think. We are lower than the glide slope, so there's where the glide slope. We should be on the glide slope. But I've royally messed this up. I think I've recovered it though. We said flaps 30 with a landing speed of 130, didn't we? And I cannot see the runway at all. So because visibility is really poor. So we may need a little help with the autopilot on this one, I'm afraid. Unless invisibility improves. Okay, localizer's got us. Approach mode is activated, so when that glide slope diamond comes level with the wings, I'm expecting us to then start reducing. Or does VNAV need to be enabled? Sorry, VNAV needs to be enabled for that. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it alone because VNAV He's not on. If it doesn't capture us, we'll have a look. I think we recovered it though, didn't we? Bring some flaps out. Another notch. We may need to do a bit of a missed approach if this doesn't work out. So let me just read the missed approach. Missed approach, climb to 1,600, then climb left turn to 3,000, direct to Damon and hold. So if this doesn't work out, we might need to do that. With a notch of flaps. I can't see anything. Visibility is really low. Well, obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration. I can see something, but I can't see a lot. Right, let's start reducing speed. To 150. What's up? Overspeed. Why is it shouting at me? What? I'm going to turn that alarm down. Is that overspeed? Or is that pressurisation again? No, it's not pressurisation. No, it's not that. Speed brakes. Oh! Ow, my ears. I don't know what that was. No, no warnings there. Okay, that's got us. The glide slope has got us. I really can't see anything, so I'm going to have to rely on the ILS system to bring us in for the landing, I'm afraid. I can't see anything. I could just about see some flashing lights there.
1,000.
Let's slow down some more. Do another notch of flaps. 130. I think that was an overspeed warning, wasn't it, that one? If I activate that second one, will that do? Oh, I can. The visibility's getting a bit better. Alright, I think we can see enough to land. Let's land without that. So I can see enough now. So I'm going to take over.
Traffic. Traffic.
My aircraft. So I am purely doing all this input now.
500.
Keep the nose up. See the pappies? I can see them on the left.
400. 300. Terrain. Terrain. 200.
Too low. According to the pappies.
Approaching minimums.
Still too No. And to the right. Thrusters out. That wasn't my best landing. By a long shot, was it? But we're down. We are down. We won't come off at this one, we're a little bit too quick still. Well, I'm all over the place here, you know. Wasn't my best landing. Let's be honest. I was on the verge of calling it to go around, but I want to practice my go arounds really before I embarrass myself on the internet. Oi, oi, oi! That was a tough one. That one. So we're going a bit quick. Let's bring our flaps up. That was all over the place, that landing was, wasn't it? I would have probably been better doing an auto landing. This next right turn. We're going to head for the cargo area. There is actually no right turn here, but I'm just going to make one. As I am crossing an active runway. Oops. But it's okay, it's just us here. No multiplayers on. Multiplayers turned off. And then we need to go over here. So this layout isn't quite as per the map. You have a look. We're trying to go over here to the cargo area, but this is not as per the map. Anyway, alright, let's get the APU started. Oh dear. Let's not go in there. Should we park ourselves over here? I think so. I don't know if that's correct, but that's where it's staying. APU should be on now, so let's change over. Bleeds, packs can go off. All that stuff that caused me a load of grief in the air can go off. Those pumps can go off except for that one. Probe heats can come off. Window, that can come off. Let's get some ground power connected as Engine's gonna now come off. Menu, FS actions, ground services, GPU cart, or yep, okay, let's set the chocks, and then I can remove the parking brake, request ground power. Lights can come off. Ground power available. Let's turn that on. APU can come off. And last fuel pump can come off. Hydraulic pumps. 1, 2. That's off. Let's get the lavatory done. Stairs. Get all those arriving. And pallet loader. I don't know if that's the right parking space or not. Looks like it. It'll do anyway. For some reason there's traffic coming in and out of here, so I imagine that is a roadway to access the cargo area maybe? And perhaps this is... no, this is a... looks like a car park, this does, doesn't it? These look like they're all... little templates where the car should go. Well, welcome to Louisville in Kentucky, where your Amazon Prime packages arrive on time. And we did, in all fairness, maybe a little bit of a delay, but it wasn't days, it was only a few minutes. Because we had to do that holding pattern. Really frustrated at that. I lost quite a lot of precious time looking at that pressurization system. I can see we've still got some beacons going. All that stuff can come off now as well. Anti-collision off. Wheel well can go on. And they can go off as well. Looks like there is some satellite captures that there should be some aircraft parks there. I don't know, I think we parked in an okay place. This is where it starts the cargo areas though. We have the passenger terminal. And another huge terminal over there, so it's a big airport. Visibility was really poor, but it's actually quite an enjoyable approach, I thought. Right, we're here. Let's set 0 as the target. Start that. 0 as the target there. Start that. And 0 as the target there. Start that, right, while all that is being unloaded. Flight directors can come off. Let's have another quick pass of the overhead. That can come off. Bleed can come off. APU bleed, that is. That all looks okay. I reckon ground power can come off. Oh, not standby power. Batteries. That can go off as well. Full aircraft shut down. Right, these guys all get the aircraft unloaded. And while they do, I shall bid you farewell and end the stream there. Really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks ever so much. And if you clicked on the video, Really appreciate it if you're watching this back as a VOD. I'd really love it as much support you can give to the channel. I really do want to try and grow the channel as I go on my sort of YouTube journey. So if you do like the content or sort of want to engage, please feel free to subscribe. I'll be next live on Thursday evening around about 7 PM UK time. So tune in then. Really appreciate it. Thanks ever so much. See you guys in the next one. Bye.